All yours, Kim.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you a story? Once upon a time. There was a lost chefess. Two little lost chefesses. Right, yeah. At the moment, the stage we're at the moment is I've got the cakes out the oven. They're still in the tins and they're cooling in the tins for 10 minutes before we get them out of the tins.
Kim, you want to see my cake?
I will certainly like to have a look.
This is fair.
Mind you. Your picture.
Hang on.
So now what do we do with this one now?
How do I say Kim my cake?
You have to turn the camera around, mate.
I will.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Hold on. Shall I turn the camera around? Oh, you have to remove it from the case. That's why it's not working.
Wrong way.
Why isn't it? Oh, I think I'll have to do it this way, Kim.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, look at that. Beauty. Yep, very good. So yours is cooling at the moment, like ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can I put on top of it, Kim?
I think you've got some cream mixture in your packet, haven't you?
I think I used it all up.
Okay, well, what you could do is when it's cold, when you've got it out the tin and it's cool, you can cut it through the middle and then put some jam. That will be nice. And then you can sprinkle, if you've got any icing sugar, sprinkle some icing sugar on the top. If you had a doily, you could put the doily on the top, sprinkle the icing sugar, and then lift the doily and you'll be left with a really pretty pattern. I can't show you that because I haven't got any doilies. We used to all have them in our cupboards, didn't we, at one time? You used to put cakes on top of them and make them look pretty. So I'm going to have to keep my eyes open for them in Wilko's. But that gives you a few ideas, William. Or alternatively, you can make a little bit of buttercream up.
We're putting them. We're putting them. We've got buttercream.
Yeah.
And my buttercream, and we're mixing the buttercream in with the lemon juice.
That's it. See, you've got it all sorted.
To give it some flavour.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. You're in capable hands, Will.
Because it's boring with it just plain with no flavour on the top.
Yeah, that's why there is different things you can use over the week.
You're making some flavours, Kim.
Am I making what?
You're putting some flavours on top of your cake.
I'm putting walnuts on top of mine. Now,
Walnuts in.
Here again. Right. I'm going to just run a knife around my tin. Let me get myself on the screen better. Oh.
Do you have to put buttercream on top of yours, okay?
Yeah, we are when it's cool. We can't do anything till it's cool. I'll be back with you in a minute. Right, I'm here. I'm going to run the knife just around the edge of my tin. Be careful because it's still quite warm.
Have you stick something in it to take a bit cooked?
Yeah. I'm going to put the cooling rack on top like that and turn it over.
Oh, yep.
And out. Oh, bang, crash. knock the saucepan. Look at that. This is
Wow.
really nice.
On top then.
That's number one. I need a cooling rack.
Off, man.
I borrowed that one. I start off with all this room and I end up spreading everywhere. So that's number one. Can you carefully put it over? Make the room. There. Cool. This is number two.
Alley up.
Take my greaseproof paper off. Voila! Say that, Carl.
Voila.
Voila!
That's where I get small walnuts.
Now, what we need now is these to cool down quickly. I know, it's a beautiful cake. I'm really pleased with that. That is just one of the two. It's come out lovely, hasn't it? So I'm putting that over.
If you want to cool it down quickly, put it by the window, Kim.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So I'm gonna just wipe down my area. We've got an hour still, so hopefully
Long time.
we're gonna make the cream now.
Put on that one.
Did you all do your coffee earlier with your boiling water? Because that should be nice and cold now.
I'm not using coffee, Kim. I'm not using coffee.
We're not. Just probably me that's using coffee. And I'm really enjoying it because it really is my favourite, but never mind. So, are you ready to make the cream?
Yes.
Right, get a large bowl.
What's it a must? No, large.
Yeah.
Can I not have too many substitute trees?
No, because you won't have so many systems. That one.
I've got a large bowl because we're going to be putting the icing sugar in here. So we need to measure 200 grams of butter. 200 grams of butter.
Nah, the wife is.
I can see you will be doing bakery with your daughter.
Then this is our pudding sorted for tonight.
Yeah. Good practice, good practice. Keep up,
Trust
man.
me. Trust me. Trust me.
Why don't you just do
Do you want to have a go? Oh, that's lovely. Have a go at mashing that. Right, Carl is mashing my butter at the moment, which is, for once, soft. The weather is being a good friend to me today. That is lovely. That's it. Wow. That is very good. So we've done the coffee in the boiling water. Beat the butter. Right, next thing we need is, if you're using it, vanilla essence. And we want 1/4 teaspoon. So that's not very much at all. It's just enough to give it a little bit of a flavour. Whoop. So that is vanilla. Yeah, I'm putting my vanilla essence in with my butter. And then Carl is going to stir that in nicely. That's it. Try and get it from all around the edges, and that's great. Right. Next thing we need to do, add the icing sugar gradually. Now, we need 400 grams of icing sugar, and it looks
Right.
quite a lot, but we need quite a lot of cream to do the middle and the top and the side. And if anyone wants to have a little go of piping, we can put some little rosettes on it. So where's the icing sugar? Here is my icing sugar. And I've got 400 grams of icing sugar in this big bowl. And we're going to add it bit by bit. So could you get a dessert spoon out, Carl? Yeah, that's lovely. So you get a spoonful and put it into my butter. Just gently, that's it, great. So I'm very lucky here. I've got an assistant who is gently adding the icing sugar to the butter. So, right, if you can put one more in, that's lovely. And then you just need to stop for a minute, get that stirred in. I'm gonna push it down off the spoon because it tends to stick to your spoon a little bit. If you remember, this is exactly the same as how we made the chocolate cream. And you all did really well at that. Right, I'll have another teaspoon. And this is basic buttercream. This at the moment is vanilla buttercream. Before we put chocolate in and made it chocolate buttercream. Today, some of us are going to put coffee in and make it coffee buttercream. But you can leave it like this and it will be vanilla buttercream, which is just as nice. Can I have another one, please? That's lovely. Just bit by bit, and then you won't get lumps. Because icing sugar is very fine to work with, and it can blow all up in the air and blow in your face, which we don't want. That's why we're doing it gradually. I'm going to scrape my spoon again. I was going to put another spoon in. That's it.
No, they're enough.
Yeah, it takes a little while, but luckily our cakes will be cooling while we're doing this. That's it. I'll have another one, please. That's it. Now we have to continue doing this until all the icing sugar is in our butter. We get a bit stiffer as you go along, but then at the end we're going to be putting our coffee. That's it.
Oops.
Whoop. That's what's going to happen. We end up looking like snowmen.
Yeah.
This is where it gets quite stiff to stir. Can I have some more, please? Got loads left, haven't we?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my cakes. Kim, I am, but I've done the buttercream ready. I have.
Okay, that's really good. You do it in your time, Kerry.
Yeah.
I think we've still got 3/4 of an hour to do things in, so we're not in any hurry. Another icing sugar, thank you. And another one. Right, put that in there. Oh, we're making smoke signals,
Yeah.
icing sugar signals. Oh, Carl. Right, and another one. That's it. Whoop.
I know.
We're still mixing it in. Probably, if you'd sort of stopped and washed all your bowls and that up, you could have used your electric mixer again to do this. But you're still going to get the same problem with the icing sugar coming up into the air. So it's a little bit of trial and error. That's it. Right, put another one in, Carl. That's it. Right, can you give me a hand with the mixing? Right, one more, and then we're going to go for putting it all in. We haven't got much left. I just need my just gently, because
That's quite big. No, what's more?
yeah, we've got lots more to go in.
Put it in there.
Where do you put the coffee in, Kev?
We put the coffee in once all the icing sugar's in, Carl. Just do the first few stirs.
Hello, Mike.
Hello.
I have two assistants.
Where have you appeared from?
Gently,
I'm doing it gently.
slowly. Can't get the staff.
Come on, put it slowly.
Looks like snowstorm here.
No, I'm fine. Go on, first one. Come on, wait.
Right, just do that first bit gently.
More.
Oh, don't go now. Oh, we're being a little slow.
Got my pad.
No, got it. Mine.
Oh, we're going to do it very slowly. Put it down on there. Right. Gently, gently, when you're putting that last bit of sugar in. On hindsight, once the coffee's in, it might have been easier to introduce the coffee. I'm actually just going by the recipe, all right? Sometimes recipes aren't always perfect.
What, the recipe I sent you?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you could just, we could have introduced a little bit more wet to make it easier to stir.
I think the one I sent you was very American, wasn't it?
I don't think so. Yeah, it wasn't all cups and things, was it? It was pretty quite lovely. I'm going to take back over again now. Thank you.
Mine.
Now my cream has run away. At this point, you're going to start adding this coffee and water. So teaspoon at a time. And stir it in until the coffee's dissolved in your cream. And you're going to start getting that lovely coffee coloured cream. If at the end of it, your cream's a bit too stiff, you can add a little bit of milk. I shall let you know at the end if I feel that I need to put any milk. This is a little bit of a stiffer mixture than when we made the coffee, the chocolate. Slowly, slowly. It's a good job we're waiting for our cakes to cool.
What's the phrase? Slowly, slowly catch your monkey or something like that.
That's right. Keep scraping your spoon off as well, because your spoon does tend to keep the butter on it. And we want it all, see how it's gradually turning colour, going a nice coffee colour. And we want it all that colour. We don't want any streaky, buttery bits. We want it all that lovely coffee colour. I'm going to add another teaspoon. The next one should be the last one. Oh, can you smell it, Carl? Smells. If you like coffee, it smells divine. I've got a feeling me and Carl are going to be eating this. Just me and him, aren't we?
Why does Mike not like coffee?
Mike doesn't, no. Right, I'm putting the rest of my coffee in now.
Okay, the only time I ever have to drink
Knock out the
coffee.
cup as you can. You can start stirring it, Carl.
I'll be honest, the only time I ever have to drink coffee is when I'm absolutely smashed.
Ah,
Be up
I'm
afterwards.
a coffee drinker.
I'm a tea drinker, me. And proud of it.
Right, get as much out the cup as you can. I'm going to add just a teensy little bit of milk to that, just to get a bit more of the coffee out. Because there's quite a bit left around the cup. So, and my cream is quite stiff. So I'm just putting a little bit of milk in my cup, just to.
Oh, it is tough.
Is it? Are you finding it stiff?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to put that in. So the recipe did say if the mixture's firm or stiff, add a little bit of milk. If you ever add anything, add it very, very gently, because you don't want to tip too much in and make it too watery.
No.
So I think I can still put a bit more in there. So I'm going to do the same again. I'm putting the milk into my coffee cup. The consistency is got to be spreadable, okay? So spreadable like you're spreading margarine on a piece of bread. That sort of spreadable. And I think we have got there.
I think that's done.
And it looks like that.
So
How are you doing, Carl?
I'm struggling. I've got too much coffee in.
The main thing is to make sure that you've melted your coffee in the water. So you haven't got, you can use granules. I've used powder, but it needs to be melted in the water for it to be runny to mix into your butter. Is everybody all right with that? Then we must taste it. I'm going to ask my assistant to taste the coffee cream. Nice?
Nice.
Nice. Right. Now the taste still. I'm going to get rid of all of that.
Coffee. Too much coffee.
That's it. Gonna have a little clean up. because I don't know about you, but I always make a right old mess. Yeah, where's the cloth gone? Can you see the cloth? Ah, there's the cloth. Yeah, when it comes to doing the piping and putting the cake together, it's nice to be nice and clean.
I think I've put on for
Okay, June. See you later, love.
since
I am going to be using my turntable. Now, for any of you that really are taking an interest in baking and decorating, it might be worth, if you want, to invest in a turntable. It's probably pretty much like what you've used for doing pottery. Similar. This is a nice, steady, sturdy one. Okay, it's very old, but it was a good one. That's why it's lasted me a lot of years. It's Mary Ford, and it's so much easier to cream and decorate a cake if you've got a turntable. You can do it without, but it makes your life a lot easier if you've got one. And I'm going to get a plate because I want my cake to go on top of a plate.
Yeah.
So if you haven't got a turntable, you'll be putting your plate onto your surface. And then I'm going to put my first cake
On there.
onto the plate.
What are they on it?
Now, mine is still not cool enough to decorate. I really don't want to put the cream on because warm is going to make the cream melt. So I can either talk you through how to do it, but it's actually exactly the same when we did the chocolate cake, which is get your cream on your knife, put it all over your
On cake.
on the cake top, yeah. Put it all over, lovely. What I'm going to do,
We'll see.
being as I'm doing a walnut cake, I've got some broken bits of walnut here, and I'm going to then sprinkle some walnut on top of my cream for the inside layer. And then you'll put your second one on top, and then you do the top and you do the side. So I don't know if you want to leave it another half an hour and we'll decorate it together, or what?
I could show the second Tom video if you want, but then I'll have nothing for next week.
Yeah, we'll watch that, and then these are going to be a little bit cooler, and then since nobody's got a red hot cake straight out the oven, then we might get away with it. If you're at the same stage as me, it's warm, but it's not hot. Okay, ideally it should be cool. Right, okay, let's have a look at another one of Tom's.
Okay.
5 cakes are done now, Kim. 5 cakes are done.
Beautiful cake. That
Okay.
takes long to cool. But the main thing is to not rush it. And if you do finish it by yourself after this is finished, then please take a photo of it and put it on Arts and Crafts Friday so we can all look at what your final cake is. And I think there's going to be a few different assortments today.
Yeah.
And if you can, explain what your cake is. you can put like it's a lemon flavored vanilla sponge with lemon cream. And Kerry, you can perhaps explain what yours is, because you use some different ingredients, don't you? And I'll do the same with mine. And Carl, if you can talk about yours a little bit.
Yeah.